Hey guys, and welcome to MerMay Week 3. We are so close to being done, um, and this is mermaid number 15. To be honest, I wasn't feeling great this entire week. I'm feeling a little better now, but it was just a lot of fatigue mostly, not from doing the art for the most part, but just because I've been working on a lot lately outside of the art stuff. So it's just been a really busy time for me, to be honest. So this week was kind of difficult to get through, and I was feeling pretty lousy during this mermaid and during a bunch of the other ones in this week. But as I said, I'm feeling a little better now, so hopefully this next week, week 4, will be even better. For this mermaid, I actually got the prompt from my brother's friend again, who suggested drawing a mermaid singing from an anchor, so I drew that. It looks way more like she's screaming, but either way, I think that it turned out alright. It's hard to like a lot of these mermaids because I was feeling so, I just wasn't feeling good. And I added this mist around her, and it kind of seemed like it was like raining underwater. I don't know. I like it. It's very emotional. For day 16, mermaid 16, or rather mermaids, I drew my original character Kara and Yobi's version of Storm from X-Men. This one was a lot of fun. Uh, it took a lot of time. This was probably the most footage I had recorded for the entire week, was just from this, but it was a lot of fun. This is one of my favorites. Out of all the mermaids I've done so far, this one is definitely one of my favorites. Here, I'm just blocking out the colors so that I can actually get to rendering. That took quite a while. Storm's hair, there's so much of it, and it's so, there's so much volume to it, it's so hard to, draw and color in, but, it was a lot of fun. I was also coloring with the, watercolor pencil, or just the pencil, I don't remember, but that was a mistake on my part. I should have been using the pens so that it was all solid, but it's alright. It still turned out. I still like it a lot. This time lapse is pretty long, so I'm gonna stop talking for a minute and let you guys enjoy it. Also, just a side note, Yobi Arts on Instagram. I think she is drawing Storm for one of her mermaid days as well, or maybe multiple, I don't know. But definitely go check her out. She's an amazing artist and a great friend of mine. It was a lot of fun to draw this just because all the while I was thinking what would happen if our characters actually clashed. And I thought it would be a pretty funny concept if they were just fighting about which alternative band is better or something really ridiculous like that. But it's definitely so over the top that something that Kara would fight about. It just seemed like a really funny concept to me, so I actually put that as the caption of my Instagram post. Storm's hair was very fun to shade and to, you know, play around with, but it was also kind of a nightmare because there's just so much of it. It was hard. Also, don't worry, I changed that to, I think, a dark blue or a blue of some kind. But her hair is kind of like a nightmare. And day 17, I went really simple. I had to take a break midway through drawing the sketch because I was just feeling like so awful. I literally like dropped my pen, walked the 3 feet over to my bed, crashed, and slept for 5 hours. So, so this one was very simple. I literally got to wherever the jump cut is, I got that far, and then I literally, in between that, I slept for like 5 hours. This turned out alright. I think it's just very simple. And here you can see me putting the palette in. I don't really stick to that. And there's the jump cut. And this is just onto the background because I realized I wasn't recording and I should probably have more footage than just the very minimal sketching process. And then I put in some fish and then that was it. Just a very simple merman who stole the king's trident. So day 18, I actually didn't end up recording any footage at all. So this is the piece, and I know this happened in week 1 as well, but I just didn't really, it's not even that I didn't have time to with this one, because it was a very simple sketch and it only took me about half an hour. I just felt like I was gonna stop drawing and like go do something else or go sleep for a bit. So I didn't record it because I didn't think that I would actually get done with it in one fell swoop. But this is the piece. It's very simple. It's a lot different comparatively to the color palettes. It's kind of like the Ghost Girl. But once I figured out that I was actually able to do it in one fell swoop, I started the next mermaid, and I did it immediately after. So something that I discovered in Metabang is that you can have more than one project open at a time. I didn't know that, so I accidentally clicked over to the previous mermaid, which I just showed you, and I was really confused for a hot minute, but then I just kept, you know, doing my thing. This mermaid has water magic. which was one of the prompts that I wrote down and thought that I would do something really cool with, and instead it just turned out like this really simple looking mermaid, which is okay. This piece is alright. It's just hard to like these pieces when I was feeling kind of miserable, but, you know, there was a switch over by accident, and there's really not much to it. I was just trying to draw a mermaid with water magic and avoid drawing her face because I really didn't feel like it, and that's it. So for Mermaid 20, I did something a little weird. You can see me writing in my sketchbook here. I did it traditionally, which I have not drawn something traditionally like this in a very long time. Usually I just sketch traditionally. I haven't lined something traditionally in a very long time. I haven't colored something traditionally in a very long time, at least not with the effort that I was trying to do with this. I did use washi tape for her clothes, which did not turn out great, but it was my first time doing that as well. And overall, I think that this one turned out okay. It's not great, it's not awful, it's just okay. Here's just the time lapse of me lining it. And I actually have an audio clip from when I did finish it, so I'll play that for you guys in a minute. This was before I added the background, because I didn't know if I would like the background. And here is after. Alright, so this is the finished mermaid, you can see. I did watercolor for the background. It was difficult, but kind of relaxing. I don't want to talk about the washi tape. I've never done something like that, like trying to actually use it in the piece and on the character, so it was pretty difficult, but I think it looks okay for a first try. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to use this audio. However, this is it. I thought that recording was going to be a challenge, and it was, but it was way more of a challenge because I haven't drawn traditionally in so long, and I found this so difficult. But, you know, it looks alright. I wish that I could have done the background, like, more, like, darker, but, looks like a pastel galaxy mermaid, and I kind of like that, so. Shout out to my sister for the washi tape and for this pen, which I used for line art. It has frogs on it. See? Isn't it adorable? My sister gave me those, so shout out to her. This mermaid was kind of based on the washi tape, inspired by the washi tape, I mean. So that's it, on to day 21. And finally, for Mermaid 21, I was feeling really good that day, so I got on my computer, did the sketch, and then decided, alright, I'm good, I'm gonna start recording. And I recorded for doing the line art and the coloring, and I do quite like how this mermaid turned out. She's definitely one of my favorites overall. This mermaid and Storm and Kara are definitely my two favorites from this week. Those were also the days where I was feeling the best, but I think those two actually just turned out the best as well. This pose was like pretty fun to draw. I got it from Pinterest. I got the reference from Pinterest. It's just very dynamic and I like it a lot. With this piece, I actually did do a background, which is something I haven't really been doing in the other ones. I've just been kind of lazily putting colors and blobs of blue to say, oh, it's the ocean, oh, look, there's bubbles, but for this one, I actually added seaweed. Her face looks really scary upside down, but it looks okay when you're looking at the piece normally. It just looks really, really weird when you're looking at it like if she was, you know, right side up, I guess, but it's also funny because the day that I was drawing this, the actual official prompt of MerMay was upside down, but this was really fun for me to draw, and I really like what I did with the colors, and I'll get to that in just a minute. And here we are. I'm going straight into color, first shifting around the colors and hues a little bit, but then I go in with this fluorescent red, and no, it does not get duller than that. I didn't realize how bright it was when I was coloring it, and I still like it, it's just very loud. I wanted to make a rainbow mermaid. The entire week I'd just been thinking, like, I want to make a rainbow mermaid. I want to do, like, blending and stuff into a rainbow. And this isn't exactly that, but I did use purple and blue for the shading and orange and yellow for the highlights. And I really do like how it turned out. It looks kind of like, it looks very fiery. And it does look very tropical, which is kind of what I was going for. I really just wanted to blend a bunch of bright colors together, and that was definitely what I did. And then I struggled to pick a hair color. It changes like 3 or 4 times. This is not the final hair color. The next one is not the final hair color, but it was hard to find something that didn't clash, and I think I did that. But, I'm still not entirely sure. Either way, I think it looks alright, and I quite like it. It was awkward to shade her hair just because of the way that it is, but I think it turned out okay. The hair is probably my least favorite part of this piece, but I still like it. I also wasn't sure what color to make her eyes, so I did one purple, one yellow just to see which one I liked better, and I ended up going with yellow, which I've had a couple mermaids with yellow eyes now. It looks very, like, spooky and very otherworldly, and that's definitely the vibe I was going for with this piece. And for the kelp, I did very, very minimal shading. I still quite like how this background turned out and this entire piece. Like I said, it's one of my favorites of this week. It's one of my favorites overall. And this concludes week 3 of MerMay. I will see you guys next week for week 4. We are so close to being done. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and comment below which mermaid is your favorite. Let me know below, and I will see you next week.